Understanding Dementia, Part 2. What is dementia? Dementia is a broad medical term used to describe a collection of symptoms that indicate physiological damage, that is, physical damage in the brain. Dementia is an umbrella term. Symptoms may include memory loss and difficulties with thinking, problem solving, or language, severe enough to reduce a person's ability to perform everyday activities. A person with dementia may also experience changes in mood or behavior. Dementia is progressive, which means that the symptoms will gradually get worse as more brain cells become damaged and eventually die. A diagnosis of dementia requires there to be significant changes in memory plus changes in at least one other cognitive domain, like language, thinking, orientation, perception, decision-making, behavioral changes, as some examples, and to be significant enough to cause impairment to the individual's daily functioning, and not be caused by an underlying medical condition, delirium, or other psychiatric disorder. So, who is affected by dementia? Dementia affects many different people across all cultures, young and old. Most people are over 65 when they are diagnosed, but there are a number of people who are diagnosed with young onset dementia, which means they are under the age of 65. It also impacts families as spouses, adult children, siblings, and in some cases parents become caregivers. Although all of these people look the same, they are all very different. Every person with dementia is different, every caregiver is different, and every family is different. Someone who says they have Alzheimer's disease, it's plaques, which are caused by abnormal deposits of amyloid protein, and tangles caused by abnormal deposits of tau protein, a different protein, destroy brain cells, causing thinking, ability, and memory to deteriorate. When brain cells deteriorate and die, the brain shrinks. This is known as atrophy. Vascular dementia, also called multi-infarct dementia, occurs when the cells in the brain are deprived of oxygen and other nutrients. A network of blood vessels called the vascular system supplies the brain with oxygen. If there is a blockage in the vascular system, or if it is diseased, blood is prevented from reaching the brain. As a result, cells in the brain die, leading to the symptoms of dementia. When Alzheimer's disease and other dementias occur at the same time, the condition is called mixed dementia. Researchers don't know exactly how many older adults currently diagnosed with a more specific type of dementia actually have mixed dementia, but autopsy studies indicate that the condition may be significantly more common than previously realized. It's also possible to have a mixture of other dementias happening at the same time. This would also be called mixed dementia. Lewy body dementia is a form of dementia that occurs because of abnormal deposits of yet another type of protein inside the brain's nerve cells. These deposits are called Lewy bodies after the scientist who first described them. The deposits interrupt the brain's messages. Lewy body dementia usually affects the areas of the brain that involve thinking and movement. Why or how Lewy bodies form is unknown. Frontotemporal dementia, unlike Alzheimer's disease, affects more specific areas of the brain. Frontotemporal dementia is sort of a mini umbrella term for a group of rare disorders that primarily affect the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, the areas generally associated with personality, behavior, and language. In some cases, brain cells in these areas shrink or die. In other cases, the brain cells in these areas get larger and contain round silver Pick's bodies. This is known as Pick's disease, which is a subtype of frontotemporal dementia. No specific dementia. When a doctor depends on the physician or the individual's symptoms, there may actually not be a specific diagnosis of one of the diseases we just discussed. Sometimes doctors just diagnose a person with dementia because they are showing signs of memory loss and other changes in cognition that are impairing their ability to function. But they don't know which specific type of disease is causing the symptoms. In some cases, this could be because the person with dementia refuses further examination and testing. In other cases, the doctor may be confident that further testing would not significantly alter the course of treatment. For these individuals, they have one of the underlying diseases that we've spoken of, but they may never find out which one. So although each of these people is different, what they all have in common is dementia. For example, if a person has dementia, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have Alzheimer's disease. But if they have Alzheimer's disease, they have dementia. Another way to think about it is with an analogy. A basket of fruit. Fruit, like dementia, is an umbrella term, but there are many different kinds of fruit. Apples, oranges, bananas, grapes, they are all types of fruit. If you have an apple, you have a piece of fruit. But if you have a piece of fruit, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have an apple. Dementia is the same way. Another way of looking at dementia is to demonstrate how the different diseases are related to the term dementia. This is a more sequential way to look at it. So, progressive degenerative diseases like the ones we've spoken about, Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, mixed dementia, there are others. These diseases cause destructive protein and vascular changes in and around brain cells. And those changes cause damage to the brain cells and to neural pathways in the brain, which lead to symptoms of dementia such as memory loss, confusion and disorientation, impaired judgment, communication problems, behavioral changes, and others. If you have questions about the information that you've heard in this section or any other questions about living with dementia, please don't hesitate to call one of our First Link Dementia helplines Monday to Friday between 9 and 4. This Understanding Dementia series will continue with Part 3, Dementia and the Brain.